नमस्कार जय हिंद दोस्तों, मैं शिवम चौधरी आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूं हमारे सैटरडे नाइट स्पेशल। थिंक टैंक इंडिया का हर सैटरडे नाइट एक स्पेशल होता है जिसमें हम अलग अलग फील्ड से अपने गेस्ट को बुलाते हैं। आज हमारे साथ हैं जफर सहीतो जी, जो हमारे रेगुलर गेस्ट हैं और उन्हें आप लगभग सभी जानते होंगे। आज हमारे जो दूसरे गेस्ट हैं वो है अनिमित्र चक्रवर्ती जी। आप जनरल सेक्रेटरी हैं बंगाल वॉलंटियर्स के। आप खासतौर पर जो माइनॉरिटीज हैं बांग्लादेश के अंदर, उनके लिए काम करते हैं कि किस तरीके से उनके कॉज को दुनिया के सामने लाके रखा जा सके। आज उसी बात को लेकर, माइनॉरिटीज इश्यू को लेकर हम पहले भी एपिसोड कर चुके हैं। पहले पाकिस्तान इशू था, आज ना ही सिर्फ पाकिस्तान बल्कि पूरा इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट, और खासकर हमारा फोकस रहेगा बांग्लादेश के ऊपर कि किस तरीके से जो माइनॉरिटीज हैं, जिनका ये नेटिव लैंड है पूरा इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट, वो आज किस तरीके से एक विक्टिम की जिंदगी जीने को मजबूर हो रहे हैं। उन्हीं विषयों पर हम बात करेंगे जफर जी से और अनुमित्रा जी से। तो अनुमित्रा जी, सबसे पहले सवाल मेरा आपसे ही है, क्योंकि आप बांग्लादेश और वहां की जो माइनॉरिटी है, हिंदू माइनॉरिटी, क्योंकि अब हिंदू ही वहां पे माइनॉरिटी है, उसके लिए काम करते हैं, उनके विषयों को समाज के सामने रखते हैं। तो मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि आज बांग्लादेश में हिंदुओं की असल स्थिति है क्या? किस तरीके से वो अपने जीवन को जीने के लिए वहां मजबूर है? जी।
Well, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk to some of the show. Well, as far as the minorities in Bangladesh is concerned, they are in midst of an existential crisis. In 1949, when there was a debate between Sri Chandra Chatterjee and Janab Fazul, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, what's the name of the first Prime Minister of Pakistan? I'm sorry, Liaquat Ali Khan. There was an intense debate between Liaquat Ali and Sri Chandra Chatterjee in 1949 Karachi Assembly, where Sri Chandra Chatterjee had stated very clearly, it's still kept in that government records, that you cannot impose Islam as a culture on a population that forms 29% of the entire East Pakistan. At the time, it was 29% in East Pakistan, and now it has come down to 7.8. The way Hindus and the other minorities are dwindling in East Pakistan or Bangladesh at this moment, those days are not far when the entire Bangladesh will be rid of the Hindu presence. And according to Dr. Abul Barakat, whose seminal researches have come out only in the recent years, it states that within the next 25 years, there is not going to be a single Hindu in the entire Bangladesh. And why? Since due to the exponential rise of the Islamist politics. Well, in this regard, I must tell you one thing, that between 1947 and 1971, there was also the rule of Islamist politics in the entire Pakistan. But the Islamist politics and this maturity and this exponential rise in between 1971 and 2023, the way it has taken place in Bangladesh, it's almost 50 times bigger than had happened in Pakistan between till 1971. So for that reason, for that factor, we can easily realize that what can be the awful condition of the minorities in Bangladesh. At the moment, the Hindus till a decade back even used to be the majority in some not in the some subdivisions, but now at this moment, there is not a single subdivision across Bangladesh where Hindus are in majority. And the reason is simple. Whether it's Awami League or BNP or Jamaat Islami or anything, the Islamist administration has no compunction, has no sympathy for the non-Muslims in Bangladesh. On each and every day, we are coming across the incidents of destruction and defilements of Hindu temples, abduction of Hindu girls, forced conversions into Islam, and many other things. And well, this is not my any fancy. This is being reported by the international media even. Unfortunately, the Indian media tries to skip it, but there are several sources across the globe, thanks to this internet revolution at the moment. We can have the information from those sites. And just a day back, I think it's Shatkida, a huge temple, an ancient temple of the Hindus, were destroyed and desecrated. Until this moment, the Hindus have not been able to lodge a single FIR against the culprits. So you can hardly realize what's the condition of the Hindus there.
जी, तो जफर जी, मेरा अगला सवाल आपसे है। जैसे अनुमित्रा जी ने बताया कि किस तरीके से बांग्लादेश में हिंदू लड़कियों का अबडक्शन होता है, किस तरीके से वहां टेम्पल्स को डिस्ट्रक्शन होता है। ऐसी ही एक खबर हमने कराची से सुनी है अभी, जहाँ पे एक हिंदू टेम्पल था, उसे तोड़ दिया गया। वो जो हिंदू देवी देवताओं की मूर्ति थी, वो पीछे कोई टॉयलेट था, उसके पास रखना पड़ा। और वहां पे एक शायद शॉपिंग कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाने की बात चल रही है। तो ऐसी खबरें तो पाकिस्तान से भी आती रहती हैं। तो पाकिस्तान के इस चीजों को क्यों इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी नहीं ध्यान दे रही है, और पाकिस्तान में खासकर जैसे कराची की एक घटना आई है, इसके बारे में आप क्या कहते
Shivam ji, thank you again having me on this Saturday, and welcome Chakraborty ji having with us today. And he is from Bangladesh. I am glad to hear someone from Bangladesh. I have lot of friends here from Bangladesh. They working on Hindu persecution matter in Washington DC, New York. Shivam ji, problem is epicenter, and epicenter is Pakistan's Rawalpindi and Jamaat Islami.
हैं?
Okay, कहीं पे भी जिल्जिला आता है या कहीं पे when there is any earthquake, people always try to find out that where is the epicenter, and for future to avoid any disaster, they try to make preventions or measurements to avoid that upcoming disaster or any earthquake. So last 7 decades we have seen that epicenter is Pakistan. If there is a persecution in Bangladesh, in India, in Pakistan, in Sindh, anywhere, the epicenter is Pakistan, Pindi, Islamabad, ISI, Jamaat Islami, Lashkar-e-Taiba. Lashkar-e-Taiba just came now, or different organizations like Harkatul Jihad, Jamaat Mujahideen. Nowadays, you can even find the traces of Al Qaeda in Bangladesh. You can find ISIS in Bangladesh. So, 11.3 million in from 1964 to 2013, people have migrated from Bangladesh. Same thing, the population in West Pakistan, especially in Sindh, which was in 1947, it was between 20 to 25%, which is now 1.3%. Resemblance in Bangladesh, the population was 22%, how Chakraborty said, 22%, and now it is reduced to, I think, 5 or 6%. So there is a constant factor going on, which is enmity on the bias of two nation theory, how this subcontinent was divided on two nation theory, which was started from Bangladesh only, and some Islamist organizations, they created a country for Muslims, which was not based, and later on we can see that it failed after the separation, after the independence of Bangladesh. But that root cause is still there. The root cause of that radicalism is still there, and we are facing it continuously. Like every year, when 250,000 people are forced to leave Bangladesh, same way 10,000 people every year are migrating from Sindh or from Pakistan. So you can understand that thing, or anyone can understand that there is some problem, and nobody is trying to solve this problem. When it comes to international forums like United Nation or religious groups which are working for minorities or other persecuted religious organizations, they are working for some governments. They are not independent. They are not totally independent. We cannot say them that they are 100% independent. So when it comes to neutrality, these groups or these organizations are used as a political tool for these groups or international powers. So that's why we cannot come to any solution. That's why we cannot come to any conclusion to stop these atrocities. For example, United Nations or religious European religious groups, they are bringing these issues. They are putting these issues in front of the world, but nobody is trying to solve this because each country has their own interests. Everyone got their own national interests, so they don't want to sometime they are calling Pakistan. They are saying Pakistan is doing this or Bangladesh is doing this, but same time they no action is taken. So these are a few parameters we have to understand. हमें इनको देखना पड़ेगा, हमें सोचना पड़ेगा। और आप देखें like in 1-2 days, Saturday, Sunday, I remember that report. I was in Washington DC that day. I came to know that 128 temples were destroyed in Bangladesh in 2 nights. Can you imagine? Same way, when Babri Masjid was destroyed in India, same way in Pakistan, we witnessed around 50 temples were destroyed. So there is reaction also. There is reaction, and there is basic, a engineered plan of Islamist groups. So they are keep doing their work, and nobody cares when especially it comes to Pakistan or Bangladesh. Nobody cares because Western countries and other superpowers, they have their own interests. They don't want to put the solution. If the solution will be put, it means uh, these conflicts will finish, and how they can put India on the watch. So they have these India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and these countries to put India on watch. So this the basic thing which I see.
जी, आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा। तो अनुमित्रा जी, जैसे आपने कहा और जफर जी ने भी कहा कि जो इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंट है उसमें जो रेडिकलाइजेशन है उसके लिए बीएनपी या फिर जमात इस्लामी या लश्कर तैयबा, रावलपिंडी, इस्लामाबाद, बहुत सारे नाम आए जो इसके लिए जिम्मेदार है। लेकिन ये नया फिनोमेना नहीं है, ये ऐसा नहीं है कि पार्टीशन के बाद ही ये सब कुछ हुआ है। तो क्या जो इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंट में जो रेडिकलाइजेशन है उसके लिए आप क्या थियोलॉजी को जिम्मेदार मानते हैं? क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उस थियोलॉजी की है जिसे कंज्यूम करके एक बड़ा पॉपुलेशन इस सबकॉन्टिनेंट में रेडिकलाइज हो रहा है, या पॉलिटिकल रीजन है, या पेट्रो डॉलर है? आप वो रूट कॉज क्या मानते हैं कि हमेशा से जो परपिट्रेटर है इस तरीके रेडिकलाइजेशन में वो इस्लामिस्ट ग्रुप्स ही हैं? आपने देखा है कि भारत है, इंडिया है, उसमें मेजॉरिटी 80% हिंदूज हैं, लेकिन फिर भी यहाँ कॉन्स्टेंटली माइनॉरिटीज की पॉपुलेशन ग्रो हो रही है। वो रेडिकलाइजेशन इंडिया में क्यों नहीं हो रहा? तो आप इसके लिए थियोलॉजी, पॉलिटिक्स या मनी क्या चीज है वो, या वो कॉकटेल क्या है जो इस चीज को जन्म दे रहा है?
Well, in this case, I must say that the root cause is Islamist imperialism. That was the main thing for us, I think. And as far as India is concerned, due to the predominance of the Hindu philosophy, you cannot find such radicalization of politics. Well, there have been. I do acknowledge that there have been radicalizations, but it has come as a reaction. Can you get me?
Yes, yes.
Fine. It has come as a reaction. And what, as far as the Hindus are concerned, in spite of being a Hindu, I must admit that we are yet to be matured enough in the most modern context. We are yet to be mature. Take, for example, the days of partition, what Mr. Sahito has been saying. The two nation theory, despite it was prescribed by the North Indian people, but it had its success mainly in undivided Bengal. So, from the point of partition and the direct action day of August 1946, followed by the Noakhali genocide and the partition, from the very inception of the Indian independence, it was clear that there is going to be a serious problem to the Hindus who are going to reside in Pakistan, whether in the west or east. And from that time on, from the very first day, Pakistan had declared Islam as a state religion. And for that reason, untold amount of money, administrative backups, and everything was given to the Islamist organizations. And for these reasons, they had their view very clear that when we are to subscribing, according to them, when they are subscribing to the two nation theory, that means in that part of land, or Pakistan, that favored or that consecrated land, there cannot be the presence of any non-Muslim. So they have been working on with it. And with the changing political dimensions across the globe, the Islamist terrorism is now spreading its nefarious tendencies. So, as far as Bangladesh is concerned, Bangladesh, to be very precise, I do not know what are your considerations, but according to the journalists living there, it seems Bangladesh at the moment is completely almost out of control. Though there is a governmental presence in Bangladesh, but to me and to many persons, it's clear that several parts of the Bangladesh are no longer governed by the government. Take, for example, Chittagong. The Chittagong happens to be known as a historic area. In 1930, the Chittagong armory raid by Surya Sen and his compatriots shook the entire British imperialism. Now, what's the condition of Chittagong? Well, it must be shared that in 1947, when it was partitioned, Chittagong did not want to go into the Pakistani fold. Even in 1971, when Pakistan was defeated by India in the war of Bangladesh, Chittagong again applied to get included in the Indian Union, but it was brushed aside by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Now, what's the condition of Chittagong? The whole of Chittagong, there are only 35% Hindu presence, or the minority presence, that's 37%. And among the 63%, there are also the Rohingyas. The Jamaat-e-Islami has its largest university in Chittagong. There, the Rohingyas are being trained in 4 languages. The Indian Bengali. There is a difference between the Indian Bengali and the Bangladeshi Bengali at the moment. It must get very clear at this moment. They are being trained in Indian Bengali, Marathi, Hindi, and Tamil. And from that area, the Rohingyas are being poured through the porous borders of East India into the entire country. So there is a problem with the Islamist imperialism. The Islamist imperialism is trying to expand its tentacles. And it must be taken for sure that from 1947, the East Pakistan has never ceased, has never stopped or never stopped to operate within India. Still, according to a certain Islamist group of Bangladesh, and this group is intensifying heavily, they still consider West Bengal, Assam, and the Northeast as a part of a greater Bangladesh, and that's called Ghazwa-e-Hind. So when you are encountering a very militarist, imperialist, socio-political economic philosophy called Islamism, then it's quite obvious that either you have to be prepared to confront it, or you shall be washed away. And since the Hindus till now are too feeble, too immature, they can't resist this oppression. That's the main thing for us at this moment.
तो जफर जी, मेरा अगला क्वेश्चन आपसे है कि जैसे मैं अगर इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट की बात करूं और उसे कंपेयर करूं अभी फिलहाल मिडिल ईस्ट से, तो मिडिल ईस्ट कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा लिबरलाइज हो रहा है। अभी हम देख रहे हैं सऊदी अरेबिया में महिलाओं को भी आजादी दी है, सब कुछ है। इसी के बैकड्रॉप में मेरा एक क्वेश्चन ये है, इसी से जुड़ा हुआ, कि जो इंडियन मुस्लिम्स हैं वो दे ट्राई टू बी मोर मुस्लिम देन द मुस्लिम्स। उनके साथ एक प्रॉब्लम ये है इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट में, हमने ऑब्जर्व किया है कि यहाँ के मुसलमान मुसलमानों से ज्यादा मुसलमान होने का प्रयास करते हैं, वो अरब से ज्यादा अरब होने का प्रयास करते हैं। उन्हें कहीं ना कहीं एक इंफीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स है कि हम अरब नहीं है, हम तुर्क नहीं है। इसी में हमने देखा है कि जब हम इंडोनेशिया जाते हैं, टर्की जाते हैं, तो उन लोगों ने रिलीजन चेंज किया है, वे ऑफ वर्शिप चेंज किया है, लेकिन अपनी उस आइडेंटिटी को इंटेक्ट रखा है। तो इंडिया में इंडियनाइजेशन, इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट में इंडियनाइजेशन ऑफ इस्लाम नहीं हो पाया। यहाँ पे अरबिस्तान बनाने का एक प्रयास किया गया। ऐसा क्यों? वाई? अपने कल्चर को क्यों छोड़ रहे हैं यहाँ पे लोग? वो दिक्कत क्यों है? वो परेशानी क्यों है? वो जहन में वो चीजें कहाँ से आ रही हैं? जी
देखें, जो स्प्रेड ऑफ इस्लामिज्म हुआ आफ्टर प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद, अगर हम देखते हैं अरब कंडीशन एंड व्हिच स्प्रेडेड टिल टू इंडिया when Muhammad bin Qasim conquered and Islam spread widely, जो फैक्टर मिडिल ईस्ट में है, even the government is trying to normalize but they are getting still hard time, क्योंकि देखें फंडिंग तो वहां से ही आ रही है ना। जो आयर रिच फैमिलीज हैं, जो जहादी माइंडसेट है उनका, they are still pouring the money to Bangladesh, to Pakistan, to these all fanatical groups which are Islamist groups, radical groups. I don't mean to all Muslims, but mostly the radical groups, they are getting still the money from Arab countries, from Middle East, if not by government, or maybe their ways are changed. Some organizations, some groups are there, the rich families are there, they are still pouring the money. जो आपने इंफीरियरिटी का कॉम्प्लेक्स जो बताया ना, दिस ह्यूमन नेचर, if you have embraced something new, you always try to prove yourself that you are better than the others. So हमारे सब कॉन्टिनेंट में भी यही हो रहा है। यानी आप देखेंगे वो अरबी जुबा पहन के घूमते हैं, हालांकि अपनी हमारी जो अपनी क्लॉथ है, अपनी पोशाकें, दैट इज मोर गुड देन अरब ड्रेसिंग, but people do that because of that complex they hate. How to get rid of these things? इसको कैसे नॉर्मलाइज किया जा सकता है? मैं आपको सिंपल मिसाल देता हूं। आज इसराइल एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है, दे आर वेरी स्मॉल नेशन, स्मॉल कंट्री, एंड दे आर अलोन. They are alone. There is no any other Jew nation. There is India, huge India, a Hindu country. But the difference between Israel and India is Israeli people, their attitude is different. The Jews organizations, their attitude is different. When they have to do something, they do it. But unfortunately, if we look at India, our Hindu organizations, sorry to say, but it is the reality. When it comes to take the actions, we cannot see anything. भाई, आप एक मंदिर बनाते हो, 5 मंदिर बनाते हो, 10 मंदिर बनाते हो, वो 1 महीने के बाद तोड़ दिए जाते हैं। तो ऐसे मंदिर बनाने से पहले ये है कि अपने जो चीज बना रहे हो उसकी सिक्योरिटी का तो कुछ करो। If you are not prepared, or if you don't want to exist, that's another thing. But अगर आप अपना घर बना रहे हो और आपके पड़ोसी में एक फेनेटिकल पर्सन इज लिविंग, आपने जितना एक्सपेंसेस किया घर बना लिया, दूसरे दिन वो फनाटिकल पर्सन ने आपका घर तोड़ दिया, तो ऐसा घर बनाने का क्या फायदा है भाई? सो you have to take actions, you have to take measures, you have to take precautions and find the solution. And solution is very simple. या तो अपने आप में एटीट्यूड लेके आओ, व्हाट यू हैव टू डू यू हैव टू डू। अगर नहीं तो ये जो मिडिल वाली गेम है ना, लाइक हमारे यहाँ बोलते हैं नीम हकीम खतरा जान, राइट? सो इफ यू आर प्लेइंग हाफ पिच यू आर ऑलवेज इन डेंजर। या तो आप पावर के साथ खेलो, अगर नहीं खेलना है तो भाई खामखा ऐसी चीजें नहीं करो जो सबको इन डेंजर में कर दे, और वही हो रहा है। यानी आप अगर देखें कि आप एक स्ट्रांग स्टेटमेंट तो दे देते हैं, लेकिन आपके पास इतनी पावर नहीं है कि यू कैन डिफेंड यूर सेल्फ, सो देन व्हाई यू आर गिविंग द स्टेटमेंट? Don't give the statement, because you are putting not only yourself in danger but you are putting everyone in danger. यही रिएक्शन, जैसे चक्रवर्ती भाई ने बोला, सेम रिएक्शन इज कमिंग एनी टाइम इफ देयर इज समथिंग हैपनिंग और गोइंग ऑन। फॉर एग्जांपल वो दुर्गा माता की जो एक्सीडेंट हुआ था, if you cannot make sure that you are safe or you can take measures of your safety, don't do the things. You are doing something which is vulnerable, especially not only in Bangladesh, not only in Pakistan, around the world same thing is happening. Make yourself better, make a strategy, then come with a strong power. Or other option is just neutralize everything and wait करो कि कुछ भला हो जाए, या तो फिर खामोश होके बैठ जाओ, गजवा हिंद हो जाए और ये पूरा रीजन इस्लामिज्म हो जाए। So these are the options we have. I think
do agree to you. I do agree to you completely, Mr. Sahito. I do agree to you completely. This is a reality.
Thank you.
This is a
Thank
reality.
you. This the basic. लेकिन आप बोल रहे हैं मिडिल ईस्ट आगे जा रहा है, भाई मिडिल ईस्ट आगे जा रहा है, ओके, दे आर चेंजिंग, बट नेचर वही है आज भी। ग्रुप्स आर स्टिल देयर, parties are still there, families are still there, they are funding. इस्लामिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है ना वर्ल्ड वाइड, सबसे ज्यादा रिच है वो, और उसका पैसा कहाँ पे आता है? हर पुअर कंट्री में पैसा आता है। जैसे चक्रवर्ती भाई ने बोला आसाम, यानी एक हिंदू स्टेट है, राइट? आसाम इज नॉट ए मुस्लिम स्टेट, but still they are connected where? To Pakistan, to Bangladesh, to China. If you look at Punjab, Khalistan, they are not Muslim, but where they are connected, where the economical generation is coming. If you go in the roots, or the उनकी ट्रेनिंग कहाँ पे होती है? इन पाकिस्तान। आईएसआई ने नेपाल में कितने वो खोले हुए हैं, ट्रेनिंग कैंप्स खोले हुए हैं। सो या तो वो क्या बोलते हैं कि या तो ढंग से जियो या खामोश होके बैठो, खामखा ऐसी अधूरी स्टेटमेंट्स ना दो जो आपको भी डेंजर में डाले, सबको डेंजर में डाले.
That means either you fight or take flight. और लड़ो या भागो. यही. There is no third option. There is no third option. There is no third option.
Chakraborty, bhai, I think there is a third option that which I believe you don't have to be agree on this. Like we have our Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose personality. That time we don't had any like differences or communal problems. Everyone was thinking for a strong Bharat or something. That can be achieved, but for that condition or for that state, first Pakistan needed to be balkanized, needed to be neutralized. But if the Pakistan is not neutralized, this region cannot go healthy and wealthy and prosperous. Believe me.
Well, Mr. Sahito, to me, I do think, as far as the reports are concerned, at this moment, Bangladesh is a greater threat to India than even Pakistan. It's my belief and my conviction, since I have been watching Bangladesh for more than 1.5 decades.
I don't see Bangladesh as a threat. I see the Islamic organizations as a threat. Because
whether there is Pakistan, Bangladesh, these are just but the experimentation grounds of the external organizations that they're experimenting. And what you said just a few months back, that what is Saudi trying to do? Well, to me, this is what Shivam ji had told, that they are trying to get liberalized in the South Middle East. I think it is nothing but a deception. It's al-taqiya. They are trying to export the warfare to some other country, and they are wanted to develop themselves economically. So they will not get any international sanctions. So they are going to develop economically, but the war shall be exported to some other nation. For Bangladesh. In 2022, 2022 and 2002, there was a famous magazine called Foreign Eastern Economic Review. It had stated very clearly, watch out Bangladesh, the rise of the Islamic cocoon of terror. The word used the word cocoon, C-O-C-O-O-N. That means a nucleus. And the nucleus has expanded extraordinarily, unimaginably in the last 21 years. It will not be wrong to say that Bangladesh's national economy is also being funded by the Islamic organizations. Look at the economy of Bangladesh. It is degenerating.
There's the common practice everywhere. Like, see, when, for example, Sheikh Hasina, to keep in her position or in the government, she need Muslim voters. And last time, you remember when she tried to put some mullahs on the trial, how much confrontation she got from the people, how she was defended.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So we can see, we can witness that the problem is, how you say, the Islamist nucleus or the Islamist groups which are interlinked or connected from Arabia to Pakistan to Bangladesh to East. The problem is that network. जी शिवम जी.
जी अभी आप दोनों गेस्ट ने बताया कि किस तरीके से इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंट में फंडिंग हो रही है, तो मैं इसमें भी अपना एक एक्सपीरियंस बता देता हूँ. तो मेरा एक मुस्लिम फ्रेंड था, मैंने उससे पूछा कि ऐसा क्या होता है कि इतना पैसा विदेश से भारत में आता है, किस तरीके से वो आता है, क्या है उसका पूरा मैकेनिज्म क्या है. तो वो ये कहते, उसने बताया, मतलब बकौल उसके हिसाब से क्या था कि जब एक इंडियन मिडिल ईस्ट में काम करने जाता है तो वहां पे किसी शेख के अंडर वो काम करता है, तो वो शेख को बताता है कि देखिए हमारा गांव ऐसा है, वहां पे हिंदू मेजोरिटी है, हम माइनॉरिटी है, हमारे गांव में मस्जिद तक नहीं है, हम इबादत नहीं कर पाते हैं. तो शेख कहता है अच्छा तुम इतनी बुरी हालत में हो, लो 1 करोड़ रुपए लो और जाके मस्जिद बनाओ. क्योंकि शेख के लिए 1 करोड़ ऐसे जैसे मेरे लिए 1000 या 100 रुपए. तो वो आता है 50 लाख की मस्जिद बनाता है और 50 लाख रुपए से वो एक पूरा इकोसिस्टम तैयार करता है अपने लिए और धीरे धीरे उस गांव पे कब्जा कर लेता है. तो इस तरीके से एक प्रॉपर मैकेनिज्म है फंडिंग का, ये एक तरीका है, इसके अलावा बहुत सारे तरीके हो सकते हैं। तो मेरा अगला
देखिए,
सवाल अनामित जी, जी,
जी जी,
जी, जी। जी,
सॉरी,
ज़फ़र।
मैं इस पे ऐड करूंगा एक पॉइंट। ना सिर्फ ये तो एक चंदा हो गया ना, डोनेशन
हुँ,
हो गया एक पर्सन का, लेकिन फ्राइडे प्रेयर पे ऐसे मिलियंस जमा होते हैं इन दुबई। आई हैव लिव्ड 15 years in Dubai, so I know, like each masjid or each mosque over there, they get millions of dollar. But this is just donation. Their main generation of economy or the money is drug,
हुँ,
extortion. देखिए, आज भी बांग्लादेश, इन बांग्लादेश देयर आर वेरी rich Hindu businessmen. They are giving millions to keep in the to these Islamist group as a extortion or ransom to keep running their businesses. Same way in Pakistan. You remember last time there was a temple attacked, Sikh temple. There was a Sikh temple was attacked, and I think last month. And when it came to the details, we witnessed that they had paid 1700 lakhs in extortion, and these Islamist group, they were asking them some more money, and that's why they got angry. So it's drugs and these Islamist groups all over from Afghanistan to Syria to Pakistan to Bangladesh. They are running drug cartels. And ISI and Pakistani intelligence agencies and National Logistic Corporation NLC, they are providing them the safe route and the transport for them because they have their own cut on it.
हुँ।
This I wanted to add that it's not only the donation, but the drugs money, ransom money, extortion, and say, sex trafficking are all going on here.
जी।
Thank you.
मेरा अगला सवाल अनामित्रा जी से है और मैं थोड़ा गेस्ट से रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि अपने जो आंसर्स हैं उन्हें थोड़ा शॉर्ट में रखने का प्रयास करें क्योंकि वी आर ऑलमोस्ट हमारा टाइम पूरा होने वाला है। तो मेरा सवाल अगला अनामित्रा जी से है। सर, क्या इंडियन पार्टीशन ने एक कैटलिस्ट का रोल प्ले किया इन इस्लामिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के लिए इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंट में इसे इस्लामाइजेशन करने के लिए, क्योंकि वो ये समझ गए कि वो अपनी, भले ही उनकी संख्या कम है, वेदर दे आर स्मॉल नंबर, बट जो उनका इंटेंट है, जिस तरीके से वो एग्रेसिव होते हैं, उससे वो अपनी बातों को मनवा सकते हैं। और उस इस्लामी स्लाइसिंग को हमने देखा पाकिस्तान के रूप में, बांग्लादेश के रूप में, फिर उसके अंदर भी वो माइनॉरिटीज को खत्म करते जा रहे हैं। तो क्या अगर पार्टीशन में जिस तरीके से हिंदू कम्युनिटी ने कहीं ना कहीं बैक स्टेप लिया, उससे इन्हें कहीं ना कहीं प्रोत्साहन मिला, एक एनकरेजमेंट मिला और ये धीरे धीरे एक कैटलिस्ट का रूप लेके ये इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंट को पूरी तरीके से एनगल्फ करता जा रहा है।
True. There's no doubt to the fact that the way the Islamists have exploited the cause of
जस्ट वन मोर क्वेश्चन, इसमें ही एक सेकंड पार्ट है, उसका भी आप जवाब दे दीजिएगा। 1971 में बांग्लादेश आजाद हुआ पाकिस्तान से, वो जनरेशन ने कहीं ना कहीं इंडिया को थैंक किया कि हाँ, आपकी वजह से हम आजाद हुए, लेकिन क्योंकि अब वो जनरेशन चली गई, अब दूसरी जनरेशन है, उसने वो जेनोसाइड नहीं देखा पाकिस्तानी फोर्स का, उसकी वजह से भी क्या रेडिकलाइजेशन अब बांग्लादेश में बढ़ता जा रहा है, क्योंकि उसने जो इंडिया ने उनकी मदद की वो तो नहीं देखा, लेकिन अब वो एक नया रूप देख रहा है, नई तरीके से वो सोच रहा है, क्या उसने भी बांग्लादेश की स्थिति को और खराब किया है? जी, ये दोनों क्वेश्चन का आप जवाब।
Well, I come to the second question in the beginning. You just said that of the generation. Well, to me and many other experts, it's still a very question. What did India do in 1971 actually? Did India intervene into two warring factions of Pakistan? Or did India play a role to create a new Pakistan in Bangladesh? Take, for example, 1971. When India liberated Bangladesh, in the following days, there's a widespread hatred, campaign of hatred throughout Bangladesh that India had ravaged the entire country, They looted the entire country of Bangladesh, and Delhi is trying to subjugate the Muslims in Bangladesh. In 1972, no less than 3,000 Durga Puja pandals were destroyed by the Islamists, while Mujibur Rahman remained silent. According to many people, uh, the two-nation theory that got stabilized in Bengal in before 1947 has never ceased to stop. It still continues, and with a sinful swing. 1947's partition of Bengal was termed by the people in India as a permanent settlement, but to a great section of Pakistan, it was nothing but a ceasefire. And from that time on till this moment, on each and every day, the ceasefire is getting violated or is trying to be violated. So I do not think that Bangladeshis were full of gratitude to India in 1971. There was a section of Bangladeshis who had the gratitude to India, but even at the time, the number was quite small. Since in 1974, when in Lahore Islamic Conference, Mujib went to Pakistan, Lahore at the time, shook hands with Bhutto, and in return visit, Bhutto visited Dhaka. And the way on that day, the Bangladeshis got jubilant over the arrival of Bhutto, that indicates that what had India thought was not actually right. There was a group among the Bangladeshi Muslims, which I do say again, who had the gratitude, but they're too minuscule, and by now that generation has ended completely. Now what do you see is nothing but intense hatred to India. You can find the new social media generation is trying to accuse India of dividing the undivided Pakistan in 1971. There is a huge, extensive hatred against India across Bangladesh, and especially among the youngsters. When you do find that there is any cricket match between the India and Bangladesh, it was almost transformed into religious war. If you can read in Bengali, you can go to the comments in the YouTube and Facebook media sections, you'll find that they are framing this as a religious war. And certainly, a section of us also answering in the same manner. And what is the first question, Shivam? Can you say?
Yes. Was partition a catalyst in the Islamization of the Indian subcontinent?
Oh, definitely. The Islamist organizations have played a major role, and they are indeed a catalyst. The answer is very simple. There's no doubt to the fact. In Islam, there is an organizational structure. Whether you are liberal or whether progressive or not, if you fail to adhere to the 5 pillars of Islam, you are not a Muslim. There are many stories of it. There are injunctions and the fights between the Islamic school of thought. We do all know that. And all this nature, this stubbornness, this obstinacy has made the Islamic religious organizations or the terrorist organizations has triumphed in the last 50 years. Take, for example, what did happen in the 75 years? In the last 75 years, when I was just going through the list of genocides a few days back, in entire East Pakistan and Bangladesh, North Myanmar, no less than 65 genocides of Hindus have taken place. And this means that in the post-Second World War scenario, the Hindus in that part of the world happen to be the most endangered minorities across the globe. But what do we see? We do see only the of Somalia and of Palestine. There has never been any mention of the Hindus as so endangered in that country. Since the Hindus are not so vocal in the international planes, and Hindus are yet to get mature both politically and vocally. That's the problem with us. And since the problem is with us, we are lending an open space to the Islamist organizations to go on with their nefarious objectives. Just as I said by Mr. Sahito, either you have to fight or take the flight. The word fear, F-E-A-R, has two meanings: fear everything and run, or face everything and resist. If you can resist, you should have to take the flight. If you must gather the power, you must gather the might to resist. Since Bangladesh is still a land of the Hindus, they have been there for generations, for almost 1,000 years. If we to take the Bengali language, the Sanskrit language of Bengali, its age is not less than 1,500 years. And Islam came here for only 700 years. So the Hindu culture is more ancient to Islam in this part of the land. So why can't the Hindus fight? Since the Hindus have never gone through the pages of their own dharma. We continue to be Hindus in the prayers, we continue to be Hindus in the videos and everything, but we do not go through our ancient scriptures. In the ancient scriptures, it's written very, very clearly and explicitly, you shall have to fight for your own right. In Hindu Dharma, it's stated very clearly, Arshang neighbor, Gajang neighbor, Bagrang neighbor, neighborcha, Baling dadhatu ajaputta devadurbala ghataka. Not the horses, not the elephants, not even the lions are sacrificed at the altar. The meek goats and the mare are altered, are sacrificed, since they don't have the power to resist. If you have to resist, if to exist, you have to be a lion. Like Sayameba Mrigandita, be the lion, turn yourself into the lion. Unless the Hindus go for the Sayameva Mrigandita, there is no hope for them. This is my conviction. Since I have been listening, I have been reading Bangladesh for the 1.5 years. Unless the Hindus learn to strike back, unless the Hindus learn to resist, there is no hope for them. It's my conviction.
जी, आपने कहा इधर टू फाइट और टेक अ फ्लाइट. मुझे ये लगता है कि अगर हमने सेकंड ऑप्शन लिया इधर टू फ्लाइट, तो फ्लाइट सर्टेनली इंडियन ओशन में ही जाने वाली है, क्योंकि हिंदूज के अलावा इंडियन ओशन के अलावा कोई रास्ता ही नहीं है. वो कहाँ जाएंगे? अगर भागेंगे तो इंडियन ओशन में ही जाएंगे.
Take for example, if the Bangladesh Hindus take the flight, where will they come? They come to India, okay? And India is not a rubber stand. India is not a rubber that can be stretched as you like. We have those limitations. Our land, our populations, our capacities limitations. So we cannot take the 3 crores of Hindus within India within a week. It's not possible for us. They shall have to be there and resist. We shall talk of them. We shall speak of them. But the persons who are on the ground, they have to resist on their own, or else there is no hope, according to my conviction.
मेरा लास्ट क्वेश्चन दोनों गेस्ट से है. मैं एक एक करके दोनों का रिस्पांस लूंगा और मैं उम्मीद करूंगा कि बहुत थोड़े 2-2 मिनट में अगर आप थोड़े क्रिस्प तरीके से उसे बता सकें. हमने बात की इस रेडिकलाइजेशन की, हमने किस तरीके से पनपा, किस तरीके से ये रेडिकलाइजेशन कैसे कम हो सकता है. ये रेडिकलाइजेशन ना ही सिर्फ इंडिया में है, बल्कि हमने यूरोप में देखा. यूरोप में किस तरीके से फ्रांस जला, बेल्जियम जला, स्विट्जरलैंड जो शांत माना जाता है वहां तक उसकी आंच आई. हम अमेरिका में देख रहे हैं और यूके तो लगभग ऑलमोस्ट इस्लामिस्ट हो चुका है. क्या, मेरा सवाल ये है, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सवाल है और मुझे पता है इसका जवाब ना में आने वाला है, क्या इस्लाम के अंदर से इस रेडिकलाइजेशन को खत्म करने के लिए कोई प्रयास किया जा सकता है? क्योंकि मेरा ये मानना है कि जो बुक है इट कैन नॉट बी चेंज्ड, और कहीं ना कहीं उसी का सहारा लेकर लोग इस तरीके रेडिकलाइजेशन को बढ़ावा दे रहे हैं. मेरा सवाल पहले जफर जी से ये है, क्या बिकॉज बुक कैन नॉट बी चेंज, क्या ये इसका एकमात्र कारण है, और क्या ये एकमात्र कारण है उस हिंडरेंस है रेडिकलाइजेशन को खत्म करने के लिए? क्या विद इन इस्लाम कुछ ऐसा हो सकता है कि ये रेडिकलाइजेशन खत्म? जी, छोटे में आंसर.
Yeah, Shivam bhai, I don't think so. When it comes to faith in the 5 pillars of Islam, it is not possible, because then you will be not anymore Muslim. Okay, so I don't think so that it can be changed within from Islam. No, because again it comes to same basics in fundamentalism and radicalism. Other option, what I can see are this can be stopped once the Pakistan will be neutralized or balkanized or eliminated. Until Pakistan is still existing, we cannot change, because that is the just a bridge between Middle East, Arab, Taliban's, ISIS, to Jamiyat, to Islam, to Bangladesh, to India, all the way. So once the Pakistan will be balkanized, the there. Once it will be neutralized, I think we can have some possibility to get rid of this radicalism. Yeah.
जी, अनुमिता जी, मेरा इसी क्वेश्चन में जो मैंने क्वेश्चन जफर जी से पूछा उसमें एक छोटा सा एडिशन है। इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट के रेडिकलाइजेशन में जो देवबंदी और बरेलवी जो सेक्ट हैं, जिस तरीके से इनकी इंस्टीट्यूशंस है, इन्होंने एक बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले किया है। वेदर इट इज तालिबान, पाकिस्तान, बांग्लादेश, दे ड्रॉ देयर इंस्पिरेशन फ्रॉम दीज इंस्टीट्यूशंस, क्योंकि इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट बेसिकली बरेलवी और देवबंदी इन दो में मेनली बटा हुआ है। क्या इन इंस्टीट्यूशंस पे भी कहीं ना कहीं इन पे नजर रखने की या इन्हें खत्म करने की जरूरत है? क्या इसको लिए भी आप मानते हैं कि ये बहुत जरूरी स्टेप हो सकता है?
Well, as far as the Hindus are concerned, do they have the might to stop this discourse of thought? If they have the might, they must put a huge lock at the gates. They must be done immediately. This course of thoughts must be put to an end. Number one. Number two, there cannot be no reform in Islam since this book, from the 1400 years, there has not been a single reforms. At the times there have been reformers, they have been killed hastily. Only in Bangladesh, not less than 15 bloggers who are called the Gnostics or the atheists, they have been killed mercilessly. So what is the solution? The solution is three to me. Either, according to to quote Mr. Sahito's words, balkanize Pakistan. If you can balkanize, introduce extensive land reforms in Pakistan to put an end to the political and the political hegemony, to give the more powers to the people. And the last option is fiercest retaliation. Only the fiercest retaliation can put down the Islamic fundamental or terrorism. There is no other choice. Either these three options. If the first, both 1 and 2 fails, a third is the only way. Since I am not I am a human being. I am not an insensible human. But at times, when you are compelled to live alongside the mad dogs, you must have a revolver. If you like it or not, it might be said that you are Animitra, you are talking something of human considerations. Well, I'm a Bengali Hindu, and my ancestors came from that part of Bangladesh. We didn't come out of one wheel. We are compelled to come back in 1945-7. We didn't know what had happened at the time. And the same thing persists in Bangladesh. The same thing persists in France and other parts of the globe. And this tendency is spreading like wildfire. So either you have to retaliate fiercely, or you should submit to them. And as far as Pakistan is concerned, balkanize it, and before it, for that the last option, introduce extensive land reforms to snatch the power from the political hegemony to end it in Pakistan.
या तो बस ये है कि घर में बैठ जाओ, कमरे से बाहर ही नहीं निकलो, ये तिलक लगाना छोड़ दो, पूजा वूजा छोड़ दो, अगर जो कुछ करना है घर में बैठ के करो कि किसी को कोई तकलीफ ना हो। देर से
and Shivamji, last point from me. For years and for centuries, in spite of being tortured severely, the Hindus have preferred to be in the comfort zone. Okay, we want to avoid this struggle since we want to live in peace and harmony. But when the harmony in my room, in the residence, is being threatened, that means the sovereignty of the country is at risk. I do know that India is still a very strong nation and it can survive with its own sovereignty. But the ground reality is the partition of India took place. One Pakistan was formed, leaving thousands of Pakistan within India. There are thousands of Pakistans within India. This is the point from me. So we must be very pragmatic in these cases. If we don't want to be fanciful, that is going to ensure our death only. Thank you.
जी, मैं इस पूरे डिबेट के बाद मैं अपनी भी एक दो बातें रखना चाहूंगा कि हम बात करते हैं टू नेशन थ्योरी की। हमने कहा कि टू नेशन थ्योरी सर सैयद ने दी, कोई कहता है सावरकर ने दी, कोई सबके अपने अपने तर्क हैं कि टू नेशन थ्योरी। दरअसल टू नेशन थ्योरी उसी दिन जन्म हो गया था जिस दिन मोहम्मद बिन कासिम ने हमारी धरती पर पैर रखा था, उसी दिन टू नेशन थ्योरी का जन्म हो गया था। और जो आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा कि सिर्फ पाकिस्तान हमारे ईस्टर्न या वेस्टर्न बॉर्डर पर नहीं है, पाकिस्तान हमारे हर जगह है जहां पे वो गेटोस बने हुए हैं, उस सोच को लोग लेकर रह रहे हैं, वहां हर जगह पाकिस्तान है। और ऐसा नहीं है कि हर जगह एक पेसिमिज्म है इस रेडिकलाइजेशन को लेके। एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल मैं दूंगा कि ईरान में आज सिर्फ 1/3 पॉपुलेशन अपने आप को एज ए मुस्लिम कंसिडर करती है, वहां पे 2/3 पॉपुलेशन इस रेडिकलाइजेशन से बाहर निकलने का प्रयास कर रही है। कहीं ना कहीं छोटे छोटे प्रयास हो रहे हैं, बस हमें उन्हें सपोर्ट करने की और उसे एम्पलीफाई करने की जरूरत है। और ऐसा ही इंडिया में है। और मैं एक और चीज कह देता हूं कि इस पूरी डिबेट में ऐसा लगा कहीं ना कहीं कि हिंदू जो कम्युनिटी है वो बहुत कमजोर है, दबी है और बहुत ही मजबूर है। ऐसा नहीं है। सिर्फ हिंदू उस रिटेलिएशन से डरता है कि जब वो हिंदू रिटेलिएट करेगा तो जो नतीजा आएगा वो ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं होगा। हिंदू सिर्फ अपने संस्कारों की वजह से उस चीज से डरता है, और ऐसा नहीं है। पिछले 1200-1300 सालों से उन्होंने प्रयास किया, लेकिन आज भी हम मेजोरिटी हैं, तो उसके पीछे कोई कारण रहा होगा। अब हम फिर से कहीं ना कहीं, मुझे लगता है कि इस जनरेशन में वो कहीं ना कहीं ऑप्टिमिज्म है। हाँ, हमें इसे और ज्यादा बढ़ाने का प्रयास करना चाहिए। ये मेरे विचार थे। और आप दोनों गेस्ट का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आप लोग आए और इस महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर, जो इंडिया के ईस्ट, वेस्ट और सेंटर में एक बहुत बड़ा इशू है, एग्जिस्टेंशियल क्राइसिस की जो बात है, उसके ऊपर आपने अपने दोनों ने विचार रखे, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अगर दर्शकों को ये शो अच्छा लगा है तो लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, कमेंट कीजिए, ताकि ये विचार, ये बात हर उस व्यक्ति तक पहुंचे जो आज कहीं ना कहीं इस चीज को लेकर बहुत ज्यादा जागरूक नहीं है, उसे पता लगे कि असली में सिचुएशन क्या है ऑन ग्राउंड। आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
थैंक यू शिवम।